Hey guys, it's Doolin back with another episode on building this massive neighborhood for a friend of mine that I told you guys about in a previous episode. This is months in the making, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I really have spent a lot of time on this, and I'm excited to show it to you guys. So this right here is my attempt at getting these roads as accurate as possible. Now, I never worked with roads before. I do a lot of medieval stuff, if anything, so it was really difficult for me to figure this out. I tested a lot of different methods to making roads, and I finally landed on this one specifically. And it takes cutting these out, making them basically hard cardstock, so it's a thicker piece of paper that won't wrinkle easily. If you're a person who's worked with miniature roads before and you have a specific way of making them that's really nice, please let me know. I'd love to try it in the future, but this way actually did work really well and it was fairly cheap. So maybe you're like me and you're searching everywhere for help on this, and hopefully this method will be an option for you. So here's my method. I take white, dry, specifically non-sanded grout. You want the non-sanded kind. You can find this at pretty much any of your local hardware stores for fairly cheap. I think mine was like $3 for a large thing of it that I didn't even use half of. And I mix it up here with just water. And you're gonna have to play around with it. You're gonna have to figure out how much you need to make a specific pancake-like mix consistency. Sorry about the shaking camera. I noticed it a couple times and actually adjust, but I still did do it a couple times, and it took me a couple tries. Just mix it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. What you want really is a kind of lumpy pancake mix looking mixture in your cup or bowl or wherever you're mixing it. Obviously don't use this in a bowl or cup that you plan on wanting to use after this. I also am using a very old brush. Don't get mad at me, those of you that are like, oh, why would you ruin a brush like that? No, it was already ruined. And here I'm just trying to keep it from you putting it anywhere other than the road, but I mean, I'm spreading it on very thin, making sure that it goes on decently well. Don't worry about making sure that it's smooth at this point. We're actually going to smooth it out here in a little while, but yeah, make sure you got an even layer everywhere. And then here I'm taking just a wet paper towel and wiping up the excess on the side. It really in the end probably didn't matter much, but I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any huge clumps right off the road that didn't make sense to be there. Here I'm taking just a handy little like multi-tool meant for grout and different around the house tasks, and there's a little like rubber side that's flat, and I'm using it to just smooth out the road, the mixed grout that I've made. And with this it will appear pretty smooth but still leave a good amount of texture and lines that roads have. Unless it's perfect, unless it just was made, it's not going to look perfect, and so I don't want mine to necessarily look like it's a brand new road either, because from what I can tell online it's not necessarily brand new. So a little weathering makes it look a little more real. Hey guys, realized that I messed up on the river area, the lake area, and I am gonna have to make part of it deeper. Now this is a big issue that I've never come across, where I'm gonna have to literally grind off the parts that I don't need, and I needed to do it outside. So the only problem is literally everything is frozen. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but our grass, and this does not happen often, you can tell that I am from warmer areas, because this is weird to look at. The grass is literally frozen up. But yeah, we're gonna get started on this. We'll see how it turns out. This shows you how long this video has been in the making. This is in February, after I gotten the roads done, and I realized that, like I just said, where the sea, or where the lake actually begins at the bottom of this piece of terrain, gets way deeper than I left it. Then I have my own little mixture here. I'll show you how to make it in a future video, but really it's just a number of different things I've found that I find work really well with making it kind of a sandy texture. I didn't want to just use sand, because it was going to be too thick for the piece that I'm making. Too many pieces. The sand would actually end up looking like rocks, and I didn't want that. Here you see that I've covered it all in this really ugly looking tan. I was going for sort of that, like, any patch of grass that has dried up and the ground beneath it gives you sort of this like sandy tan looking cracked earth look, and I ended up just applying a healthy amount of brown wash in different areas to sort of give it a different look in different spots, because the earth is cool. It's actually made of many different shades and colors, and so just adding that brown wash in different places, heavier than others, made it look pretty realistic. Here you see me just applying a Gorilla Glue spray adhesive, and then layering on that first layer of Woodland Scenics Fine Turf. We go with the fine turf first, then I add in the blended turf, then I add in the earth blended turf. I'm gonna hold it up here for you guys to see. It's first fine turf, and you can actually go on Woodland Scenics YouTube page. They have pretty cool tutorials, but I use this to cover everywhere. First, good little layer. Then I use blended turf, which is actually a mixture of just a bunch of different greens, the green blend specifically, and I cover most everywhere else in that. And then in sort of like, you can see here in the picture of the actual neighborhood I'm trying to model, there are areas where the grass is dried up, and there are areas where the grass is brown, and so I took some earth blend from Woodland Scenics and covered the rest of it in that. Oh, and be sure that you go over where the road spots are, and just brush off the grass, or it will stick there for a very long time. And that is really it for part 2. I'm very pleased with where it is right now. Now is really final touches, and you're gonna get a part 3. I'm sorry to divide it up in that many parts, but this has taken me so many different months, and I don't want to get behind. This part covered a lot though. We got grass, we got roads, We got how to remove sculpt a mold, all of those different things. And next up is pouring some water into where that lake begins, and dividing it up into the different units that'll be for sale, and then also the trees that I'll be adding as well. And I'm excited because after that it will be pretty much done, and I'll be able to give it to this friend who's been waiting for 6 months for this to be done. Thankfully he's been patient with me. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it ends up, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any tips for me for those last 3 things that I said that I'm going to be doing, please let me know. And also, always join our community by subscribing and commenting in our videos, because we're always there. We love to chat, and we'd love to see you guys there. Bye.